going on, everybody? We're back at it again with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time we finished the first case of the second game. Let's go. Turns out the woman from the first game, you know, the Giselle something, I don't remember. Turns out she died in this. She died. So, yeah, that was cool. She was killed. We found out who the murderer was. We found out his reasons. He had a very good reason, and to be honest, I think nobody would blame her. Nobody would care about her dying. I sure as hell didn't, but you know, it's just weird. So we solved that case. After that, we talked to Susato's. Is that how you say your name? Susato. She talked to her dad, and it turns out that he might have some information leaning on why, on more about the case between Giselle and Dr. J. Wilson, or whatever. John Wilson. Basically, there's a lot more to this case that is being led to believe. And now we're playing Fortnite, so. Alright, let's go ahead and click the continue button. Yes, cool. The Memoirs of Kokoro Kachukudugo. The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro.
It was a ghastly tale of a winter's night. One of an invisible killer and a crime perpetrated on the pavement along Briar Road. As the victim lay at death's door, the mystery of just who had stabbed the young lady from behind had been resolved. But no sooner had my friend saved that Eastern Exchange student from his harrowing plight, then in the dim, flickering shadows of gaslight did a second bizarre crime rend the stillness of that very night. I dare say most can still recall the sensational headlines of the day. Haunted apartment of death, the condemned criminal's curse, the dread demon of coal gas. Yet, though the great detective had at once discerned the truth upon his arrival at the scene, it only proved to be the overture that announced the rising of the curtain on a most tragic play.
Is this talking about, so it was the original, it sounded like they were talking about the, like the first case with him, when the woman got her backstabbed or whatever. But I remember he talked about there being another case after that that involved him, Soseki, whatever his name is. Yeah, I think maybe it's talking about that now, but whatever. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a fledgling lawyer. Just started out on my journey. 6 months ago, I arrived at a visiting student of law. Having made a long voyage across the sea from the Empire of Japan to here, London, England. And on the way, in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world-famous detective. Currently, I reside in the attic of the detective's own lodgings, from where I run my legal consultancy of sorts. I've successfully defended a number of clients in Britain's highest courts, the Old Bailey. But since a particularly grueling and unforgettable legal battle 4 months ago now, I haven't returned to the courtroom. In truth, I lost my right to return. But that epic trial was just one small part of an epic tale. A tale which was now about to awaken from slumber, thanks to a letter that arrived this morning from my homeland. I'm guessing the legal battle he was talking about was the thing at the end of the first game that Hairlock kind of fucked me over with. Something about the train or whatever. Pretty gamer. What a delicious smell wafting up the stairs. Must be nearly time for breakfast. I better go down to Mr. Shom's suite and say good morning to the great detective and his flatmate. Okay.
Oh, Rono, good. I was just about to call up to you. The bacon's ready.
Good morning, Iris. It smells delicious as usual. Before we eat, though, I have some news. I had a surprise this morning. Shh! Not another word, Mr. Naruhodo. This could be just an abstruse thing for my pre-breakfast stagnation-repelling mental stimulation, my dear fellow. Had to say that in one breath. Morning to you too, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, I see. So that's it. You get out of my face. The truth is as clear to me as day. My faculties of observation have revealed it again. Well, what are you talking about? You, Mr. Naruhodo, you have this very morning met with a surprise. Well, is that not the case? I mean, I literally did say I had a surprise this morning. Really, my dear fellow, it barely warrants explanation. Firstly, your hair is particularly unkempt, somewhat reminiscent of a bird's nest. Secondly, you have neglected to fasten the third button of your jacket. Clearly, when considered together, these two facts point to you having been flustered this morning. Can I talk now? But of course. Though, I don't look for admiration here, Mr. My hair always looks like this. It's always been since I first met you. Oh, it has? And the button was ripped off last night, if you remember, by you.
Harley pulled your button off?
Ah, yes, I recall the incident now. It was after supper, was it not? As the evening advanced, I picked up my violin and began to play the wailing notes of a haunted tune. But then, to my utter dismay, the third string snapped. Why did it have to happen? Why? Little wonder that in my vexation, I grabbed the first button I saw and ripped it from its proper place. Well, I'd like it back now, please. It's troubling me I can't fasten my jacket. And it's troubling me that you expect me to know where it is. Somewhere thereabouts on the floor, one presumes. Oh, fine. What matters at the present time, my dear fellow, is simply whether or not my deduction was unerring.
But, Harley, Bruno said it when he came in, didn't he? I had a surprise this morning.
I love Shom so much. He's so fucking funny. Well, that really was a surprise. I fucking love Shom so much. Yes, this man is the pride of the British Empire, the famous consulting detective, Mr. Hairlock Sholmes. There can't be a single person in the world who doesn't know his name.
all right then. Enough of this silly conversation. Come and eat this bacon before it goes cold. And I have a new herbal tea for you to try too, my latest special blend.
And here we have Iris Wilson, Mr. Sholmes' lodger and companion. A truly exceptional young girl, who is the author of a highly successful serialization here in London. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, as published in Rance magazines. Also, fuck you, man. I know that I'm late, alright? There were other matters to be dealt with. Like your mom? So, Mr. Naruto, won't you put us out of our misery? What surprise you have? What surprised you this fine morning? Ah, well, I received a letter. I received a letter from Japan.
Oh, from Susan, you mean? Was it? Really?
That's right. And yet, she had some rather startling news, in fact. Ah, intriguing indeed. You must tell us all about it over breakfast.
Oh, yes, what fun!
This is a letter that arrived from Japan this morning by International Post.
Oh, how lovely! Look at Susie's beautiful handwriting. I wish I could read it.
And how is your judicial assistant faring, may I ask? She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at the Japanese Supreme Court and won a case.
Ah, really? Oh, isn't she wonderful?
I guess I was wrong. This takes place after the first case. To be expected. A cut above your good self, my dear fellow. I've won cases too, you know. Apparently, Mr. Natsume appeared in the trial as a witness. Natsume. No, I don't recall that name. Of course you do. We helped the man. Twice. You know, in those 2 cases that took place on Briar Road 6 months ago. Ah, the mustached twitchy man with the somewhat feline eyes and the mustache. Which two? I don't remember. Were there 2 cases? I know there was one where he was people said that he stabbed a woman in the back. Well, I don't know what the fuck the other case was. Am I crazy? Am I just forgetting something? What was the other case? I don't know.
He didn't have 2 mustaches, Hurley.
Yes, who could forget those 2 cases? They made a very deep impression on me. Although I must confess the details are a little hazy now. A very deep impression they made on you, clearly. So, what was this startling news penned by Miss Susato? Do you remember the case of the haunted lodgings, Mr. Sholmes? Oh, yes. It's very interesting, you know. I don't feel entirely uncertain that a case of that nature did not occur. He's totally forgotten that. Anyway, in her letter, Miss Susato asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further. Though it took place half a year ago? For what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. Oh? On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Miss Susato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send that telegram.
Oh, that case, yes. It was very strange, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I had compiled the whole story into a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication, too. But then Hurley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. That story must not be published, you said. Very mysteriously as well.
Really? I said that. Are you sure? Do you perhaps know something about it as well, Mr. Sholmes? About why Miss Susato was told 4 months ago that she had to return to Japan? Well, she said it was because her daddy was sick, but I don't know. That was obviously a fib. A fibber McGee. Fibberoomy.
It's been 4 months now since we waved Susie off at Dover. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced...
Okay, hold on. Let me do something real quick. I gotta edit the title of the fucking stream. So I said 11 months, but it turns out it was 4 months. Looks like I'm the dumb one. I'm the Mr. Bad. Alright, I'm good now.
It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced she had to go back to Japan?
Indeed it was. Due to a telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right. Telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father had passed away. No. It just said he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. But according to this letter, that news about her father's fever was just a ruse.
A ruse? So Susie's daddy lied to her and so that she'd make the voyage back home? Why would he do that?
I have to admit, I have absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder what Miss Susato's father is hiding.
Hurley, do you know what it's all about?
Ah, well, who can say? What? But you said... Please, I have engagements, my dear fellow. My calendar is quite surprisingly full today. And a stringent analysis of the matter would be excessive, I feel, even if I were quite at leisure. So, man the fort in my absence, won't you, Iris?
I will, Hurley, don't worry. See you later.
And I bid you a skibbity-dibbity-doo. He scuttled off rather quickly there. I think perhaps Professor Mikotoba isn't the only person hiding something here. Soseki-san was involved in 2 cases, but only one of them was forbidden from being published. By, of all people, Mr. Sholmes.
Aha! I found them at last!
Iris, are they?
The notes about the case? That's right. Susie and I compiled them together. The case of the haunted lodgings. Do you want to read them, Runo?
Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could be still hiding in the shadows of this case. But perhaps if I read over the notes again, something might come to light.
That's the spirit. Now read it.
Read it. And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to our investigation and that fierce battle in court that followed. Reliving every detail. I need to find a clue. and I have all the time in the world. Because, of course, I'm no longer allowed to practice law in the courts of Great Britain. Wah, wah. It was 6 months ago, a mysterious incident that unfolded on the wintry streets of London. A young woman was found lying on the snowy pavement on Briar Road with a knife in her back. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. The fog was thick, and nobody saw her attacker, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. That man was Soseki-san, and the man who effected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Believing in our compatriot's innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And, after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Joyful, joyous, jubilant, jubilation! Was the man's reaction after the trial. But his jubilation was short-lived. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Bart's at once. So, Susato-san and I summoned a handsome and headed immediately to the hospital. Chris Handsome? Okay, so this case takes place like immediately after the one with Soseki? Okay. There you are at last! Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not. Oh. You're late. What on earth took you so long? Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes, and it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital. That's right. It's 5:30 now, so I think we made very good time. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I have been waiting for what felt like an eternity. In point of fact, I was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. In feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone have been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with the knife on her back. Her name is... yes, here we go. Miss Green. Look, there's a photograph in the frame here. Oh, yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think? My, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart. Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Good morning. Hello, I'm, Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan.
Oh no,
Was it your knife that... Are you the man who... No, I'm a lawyer. And I'm Susato Mikotoba. Pleased to meet you. Oh no! Was it your knife then? Are you the one? No, I assure you, I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. We heard that you regained consciousness and wanted to come give you our best wishes. Best wishes? For me? Thank you. I'm Olive Green. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. I don't think that's related, actually. Gosh, this young woman seems to be bent over backwards to put herself down. Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green. It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is it right? Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. But the case has been solved, hasn't it? Well, while I've been here in the hospital, I mean. Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly by none other than I, Airlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in court that solved the case. Are you... Sorry, wrong character. Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly. Oh, I see. Me coming around seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was selfish of me. What the fuck? What? I'm sorry that I lived, I guess. I don't... Oh no, we're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. We really are. With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. Yeah. So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist as best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts. Great Britain is such a wonderful country. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts? Oh, no, actually. I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road. I see. How very interesting. Oh, no. Is it? Brixton is some 10 stops away from the underground from here. And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Centre. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison. Dwelt in by those of inferior needs, including the maleficent Mr. Mustache. Inferior needs? I suppose Suzuki-san does fit the ball. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all. What's this? She suddenly clammed up. Mr. Shelms, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying into a young maiden's private affairs. Oh, dear me, do forgive me. If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things. Oh. Oh, yes, of course. We won't keep you. Thank you very much, Miss Green. Is there a Mr. Narrowfodder here? Mr. Narrowfodder! Narrowfodder, yeah. Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo the lawyer, that's me, but... Ah, Narrowfodder, good. This is for you. It's a message from Mr. Saucy Nutmeg. Saucy Nutmeg? That's an awesome name. Mr. Natsumi sent a message to me? To me? To me? But why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsumi? Exactly. What's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at the time of this morning? Ah! What are you waiting for? Let me see that! Oh. Well, this is most unexpected. Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says. Have you not seen this note? No, how could I have? It would seem that London's criminals has no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once. Murder? Call a cab. Time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsumi's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit to his lodgings once we did. That will be entirely convenient. Convenient? What do you mean? It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Mustache's lodgings. Wait, what? All hail a Fassi. Fiesera once. I don't know how to say that word. How do you say that word?
Fiacra.
What?
Fiacra.
Fiacra?
Fiacra.
That's not even remotely how I thought it was said. Fiacra? Alright. All these big words. It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court, and we were dispelled doubts about his innocence. And now, the very next day, there was a murder at the man's own address? He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or it seemed to us at the time, but we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought. Oh shit. I dropped my penis. I dropped my penis. Oh, okay. What on earth? Oh my, the gentleman is deceased without question. He's dead. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Mr. Natsume! Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court! Yesterday! I was finally home after 2 days of misery! And then I wake up the next day, No early bird should catch a worm like this! Willful worm without will! I see you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. Ah! Not the horrible airlock Sholmes! Shoot! Shove out! Show yourself out the door! I never invited you! Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume. I am entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? Here they are, already. The busybodies. Ah, Inspector Gregson. What a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see your face at a crime scene, Sholmes. Ah, I deduce, Detective, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. Good morning, Inspector. This is a crime scene. Don't go touching anything. Well, good morning to you too, Sunshine. So, interestingly enough, I think I do remember a while back, when we were back in this case, I do remember him showing up. Like, when we were investigating the first case. I do recall him showing his face and that he was friends with Soseki. But I never knew why they brought him up because they never did anything with him. Not until this game, of course. Boy, I said hands off. You're gonna mess up my crime scene. Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance. I know you're kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it. Ugh, someone's in a bad mood. There's certainly some bad air in here, isn't there? Alright, it sounds like I better talk to the inspector first. Try to curry some favor. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. William Shamspeare. Really? William Shamspeare? At least try and create, like, names that would work. I mean, Airlock Sholmes was already bad enough as it is. Now you got fucking William Shamspeare. Ugh, good lord. He was a lodger here. As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss, as it happens, or just dead. Mr. Shamspeare. It was the landlord, Mr. Geradib, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Geradib got worried and kicked the door down. But doesn't Mr. Geradib have a bad leg? Ah, yes. Yeah, right you there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking. Really? Soseki-san? The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. A miserable life with a miserable end to it. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so you shouldn't... So, shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fella looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious. But I thought it'd be prudent to take a statement from the culprit. I mean, cohabitor. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you? Oh dear. Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again. Certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he? Poor man. How unfortunate. Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fella's going to been a goner that long. The body is still warm. Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch the dead body. Look at his shoes. What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences! So the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room is just 1 story up, isn't it? Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose. So, did you know the victim? Were you friends? What is happening right now? What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. But he did invite me to his room. But did he invite me to his room? Never! On my honor, I swear it! What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? We found him here. When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking you to come. Through that inspector over there! Bruh, what are you doing? Why is he like this? Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Ha! You need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating naturally. There's nothing natural about that pose. Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery? Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room for this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened. My goodness. But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes? Not that you proposed the idea, I do believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I have managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night, in which the victim fought for his life. Ah! Ah! Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow? No, don't mind me. Forget I was here. Kinda hard to do that when you fucking scream off the top of your lungs. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense! Alright, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions? No, please, pretend I'm not here. Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant. Impossible to ignore. You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail. But of course. Let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions presented for your pleasure in 2 acts. We've heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Shums in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time? So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Sherlock Holmes is logic and reasoning spectacular. Act 1. Cause of death. Careful observation of the victim reveals that the events transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate, which contains, you will observe, on a half of sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Why is this soap set so purposely on the dish? Like the victim's Last Supper, in fact. You think he ate a bar of soap? What the fuck are you talking about? Why is this soap set so perfectly upon the dish? Like the victim's Last Supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals it all. Reveals the answer. It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet he struggled against his hunger was in vain, for in the end, he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. What the fuck is he talking about? But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. Okay, is that actually soap? I don't actually know if that's soap or not. I thought it was like a big thing of cheese or something. Although it does kind of look like soap, but it wouldn't explain why it's on the fucking table. Broken. Like someone ate it. Matt, would you eat that? Would you eat that soap? Would you eat that piece of soap? I have to know. Let me go grab a snack real quick. I'll be right back.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick-ass boy. Damn.
Shut up. I was heating me up a bowl of soup. Right? Or not soup, stew. Put it in there for a minute. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though, personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. What? The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? This single teacup suggests the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. See, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on the way to hereafter. Thus concludes the final act of Sherlock Sholmes' Great Deduction. What? I don't know what's worse. The fact this man is trying to spin a whole narrative that the guy died from eating soap, or the fact that he said that he prefers candle wax over soap. that one kind of weirded me out a little. I was like, wait a minute. There's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think that man would have eaten soap? It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny on it to his name. It is a curious thing, but one is so destitute. Soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing. How extraordinary. In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past. Of course you have. You've eaten it. You've eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut. Yeah. I mean, I guess to an extent you're kind of right. I mean, if you ingest it, you can throw it up. That would do something. And did it? As I writhed in agony on the floor and split the contents from my stomach, yes, I believe it did. Spilt. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. Believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did. There's something that troubles me as well, actually. Oh, what's that? It's Mr. Natsuki. Ah! I couldn't even notice him stuttering and quivering out in the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Shum's deductions touched a nerve somewhere. Nonsense. Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last. I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth. Alright, come on, let's do it. Alright, let's see what we can do. Alright, pick up the keywords, blah, 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 blah. We know how this works. We've done this before. We've done this like 3 times already. Cheers! Course correction. Flame of the mouth that you see clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, half of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Would it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. I like that he, like, looks at the camera. It's just like he just looks at it as like, is this guy fucking real? Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something or was about to eat something. Yes, it's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I would prefer to use a fork than attempt it with chopsticks. And of course, only half the bar of soap is left on the plate. But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap? Ah, what? Oh, okay, cool. Never mind. There it is. Look, there's more soap on the floor. Mr. Shamspear must really have loved that stuff. Really have loved the stuff. Come on, dude. Seriously? Let's not jump to conclusions, Mr. Naruto. Look closely at this soap. Do you see that it would fit together perfectly with the half bar on the table? What the? How can that be? I think they are 2 halves of the same bar that broke apart. God damn it.
Take that!
Hey, look, it's my drip. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table, in short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really, for no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat the soap. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. But that begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there are no signs of any food on the table. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo. One that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. Mr. Shams is still pushing the soap argument then. Perhaps he's suggesting the man licked the soap rather than ate it. If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. True! True. That's what I was thinking. Like, if the soap was so bad that it could fucking kill you, I wouldn't want to fucking bathe in that shit, dude. I wouldn't want to wash myself with that. Good grief. But there are no signs of any food in this room at all. Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it? No. That was ham.
Take that!
Yes. The victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed. Cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in this teacup. Gamer. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? A single teacup suggests the answer. Ah, the Western vessel for the infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our introduction so far. Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamspeare was having a drink of tea. There would be nothing remarkable about that, but what troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Shom's suggestion. Introduction. Wow, there's another teacup. My boy's got that death grip.
Take that!
Did the man dine or die alone? The other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were two teacups in this room all along. In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's Last Supper, there was a guest present. At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in the room last night, taking tea with the victim. What are you talking about? Utterly unbelievable, unjustly unreasonable! To draw a conclusion from such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Do you mean to say you know who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now. I'm afraid it's too late to go back on the halcyon days of eating too much soap. But the identity of the guest who was here last night when the victim passed away is somebody I have a very bad feeling about. Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruto. No, I suppose not. Time to look around again. At first glance, it seems that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially. I wonder what they are. Let's see. The titles read... The picture of my... of course they are. Wait. I'm sure I've heard those titles before. It could just be an incredible coincidence, but... They're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day. What? Yes. On the day of that unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed. Josuke-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them. That's right. And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim. Yes, Mr. Natsume claimed never to have been here before. What does this mean, do you think? I really don't know what to make of it.
Take that!
Indeed. What reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books. Quite so. It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth. Ah! Mr. Natsume, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a secondhand bookstore. That's just a coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment? No! Never! Non-negotiable! If you can't bring your own copies here, it proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on the evening. You never mentioned that. In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. You're gonna hurt your fingers. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. In short, there is only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in his room last night as a result of poisoning. In that same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor was you, Mr. Sosuke Natsume. Thus concludes the final act of Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction. Elementary. Okay. I want to do something real quick. No. Oh, no. I forgot I can do that. I wonder if... Let's see. Taylor... Oh! Did I not like this? I mean, I guess I only like I liked his outfit, but like, ooh, but I like this Taylor though. What do you think, Matt? Do you like his Japanese jumble mix or nah? Or nah? I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty nifty. You can have British mode or Japan mode. Yeah. I mean, I like her little dress because it looks very Victorian. And I like his outfit because he's got a fox on his head. Try it for a while. Okay. Oh, I got an achievement for that. For playing the game with an... Wait, what did it say? For playing the game in all available outfits. Oh. No, I don't like it very much. You don't like the fox outfit? You got something against foxes, Will? Hmm? Are you a fox hater? Foxes are scary. No, they're not. Although it's not really a fox, it's more like a kitsune, which is a type of fox, but, you know, it's whatever. Anyways. Not again, not again, not again! Not again! Well then, Mr. Natsume. It would appear you're going to have to accompany me down to the yard. Again. But wait. Hold your horses! Yes? Door, key, lock, entry, exit, entirely impossible! He's so flustered, he's being even stranger than normal. What? You think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy. What? You live in the same building, after all. You have plenty of opportunities, I'm sure. What? Made a copy of what? What are you talking about? Right. Because the fucking literary dude has the ability to, like, mold his own key. But misery me! Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. Instead of the grit. The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Mustache. I can mold my own key. With, like, Play-Doh, maybe. Got him. You horrible airlock chums! He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he? Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire? never imagined I'd be in this position again, but you have to help me, please! Please, I'm innocent! Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. And one more thing. Oh, yes? My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken. Shoseki-san found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. Oh. Yeah, I like it. It looks cute. Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now. Yes, that's right. Ah, and of course. What? Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? It was the landlord, Mr. Garadeb, who discovered Mr. Shamspeare. Oh. Ah, and Mr. John Garadeb, yes. I suspect we could find him in his sitting room on top of the floor as usual. Right. We must remember to go and talk to him later. Do you ever do crimes that aren't murder, like criminal negligence or shooting Mardi Gras beads out of a potato cannon? What the fuck was that last one? I mean, it has mostly, most of the cases has been, primarily murder. But, there have been cases that have been outside it. For example, in the last game, he was tried for attempted murder. See? And then I think, in the original Phoenix Wright game, like the original trilogy, we had to save a guy who was being tried for being a thief to being like a magician thief or whatever the fuck it was called. His name was like Mask to Mask, I think. Although I think a majority of the cases have just been like straight up murder. Yeah. I really can't think of anything else. Oh, look at the little hat. He's got a little hat there. Alright, well now that fucking Mr. Gringo is gone, we can fucking finally tickle Mr. Shimmy Yo's body. Oh, the poor man. So young to die. Do you suppose it was very painful death, being poisoned as he was? I wonder if we get a good view of him. Oh, he's 31. Mr. William Shamspeare. I don't know. All we could do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life. Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul? Sorry? I made sure I had reference at the ready for just such an occasion as this actually. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. Oh boy. I'll just reread it now. One moment. There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? Is that all we're gonna, like... One of these days when you're making those random noises, you're gonna say a racial epithet by accident? What? Like, just be the sheer volume of noise you make, you bound to hit one eventually. What does that even mean? Like, it'll sound racist? Like, people will, like, think I'm being racist because I make these random noises. I think I heard you say gringo. Oh, I did say gringo, yeah. That completely slipped my mind. Which is pretty close. Well, no, it is. No, it is. It is a racial slur. My bad. It is the Spanish word. It is a Spanish slur for a white person. But look, let's be fair. If someone can literally make a movie with that word in the name, I should be able to say it, all right? Even on accident. I'll get George Lopez on the phone right now. See if he's okay with it. Since it's his word. I'm Puerto Rican, so that's... Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna go further. I was about to say something else. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at the teacup. We're in British Town. Hello, I am British. Hello. One of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guest drank from last night. But don't go drinking from them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside. I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty. That's true. So, one was Mr. Shamspear's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from. But Soseki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so that we can make... What the fuck am I saying? Perhaps we should take these so that we can examine them in more detail later. Alright, time to grope the fuck out of these teacups. What is that line there? Is that like from the tea, maybe? Like it left a little line there? Maybe? That's weird. This must be the cup that Mr. Shamspear was drinking from then. It's stained on the inside. Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea. Oh, really? Never noticed that before. You've never noticed? Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave a mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it? Oh dear. So many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture, and most of them are Japanese. Okay. So, my question is, well, yes, that would make sense. How come there's no tea in this cup? That's a little suspicious. In fact, I honestly... Honestly could see how Mr. Natsume would... Actually, no, wait, because there was this... What the fuck? Never mind. I drank it. Well, the tea was poisoned, so you obviously didn't, because you'd be dead. Unless you're a phantom and you just happened to take possession over a Twitch channel and decided to say all these words. That's why you're calling me words. You're calling me a stanky bitch. A poltergeist. This is the teacup from which Mr. Natsume was drinking. Yes. Unlike the other one, the inside of this cup is completely clean. I suppose you must have drunk the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark. Like... That's what I said! I'm a... Ben Gesserit? Who's Ben? Wow. It's a Dune reference. I always gulp it down too. Sorry, Mr. Honor? Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold. Clearly, I shall have to instruct you on the proper way to take tea. These teacups are fucked up, dude. Look at them. Look at how many cracks there are. Crank, crank, crank. Well, that was fun. I just realized you went from one tea capital of the world to the other. What are you talking about? Are you talking about from Japan to Britain? The British. And here we have another disproportionately large machine. This looks like a meter of some kind. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, this is a gas meter, I think. It seems that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins. Ah, I see. Now that you pointed it out, I can see there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin here, that's right, it would buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating. So if you were a poor person with no money, you just have to sleep in the freezing cold. Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change, because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank. Thank goodness there's no meter in our office. British people are thieves. Wait. What's this? It looks like part of an envelope, I think. Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened. Is that significant? Well, it's just a little out of place, perhaps, when you look around the room. There's no signs of a letter. Or the rest of the envelope, in fact, is there? Ah, she's right. And yet, here we have a torn-off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual. I agree. We'd better take this just in case.
Read the envelope.
I'm hungry for envelopes. Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they? Yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. And judging from the angle of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed. Miss Susato! I think perhaps someone's been reading too much of the Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. You could never read too much of it, Mr. Naruhodo. Never! Crack. Look at these extravagant, bright costumes. Somehow they look out of place in this room, with its grim, shady going-ons. Hey, look, this one looks like a king's attire. A king? I've always dreamt of being king. Oh, I think you'd be more suited as a feudal lord, a daimyo, or such like. With a con mage top knot? Every Japanese man wishes he had a con mage. Oh, you'd look wonderful with one. And you already have the sword. Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a con mage and a sword? Chon mage? What the I don't even know what that is either. What the hell is a chon chon? Gina! This Oh, I see. It's like the little thing they have on like their back where like they have like their hair like pulled up like all the way in the back, and then they have like a little thing that like keeps it in place. That must be uncomfortable or something. I don't know. It was a valued sign of manliness. Interesting. Some images there. It looks so fucking goofy. Oh boy. Well, there's something. What the fuck? Apparently it is illegal in Japan to wear a con mage. Or however you pronounce it. Let me see how you pronounce it. Chômage. Chômage.
Chomage.
Chômage. Okay, well, thanks for that, I guess. Apparently it's illegal. So you hear that, Will? You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't have your hair pulled back like that. It's fucked up. Chômage. That's kind of fucked up because now I kind of want to do it. I want to like grow back my hair, make it long, and then put it into a chômage, or however you fucking say it. Don't touch my hair. I didn't say I was. What the fuck? I just said you couldn't do it. You touch your hair. Or maybe if I like wait a couple of years and just don't shave my beard, I can get it grown longer and put like little braids in it. That'd be cool. Braiding my beard. Although that'll probably not happen because I fucking hate it. There's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. And both of them are cracked. Yeah, it's not much use, are they? What's the matter? Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all. Prosecutor Lord Van Zykes? Yes, he's so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and that he should donate some to the needy. What the fuck would they have use for a wine bottle? You can suggest it next time we meet. True. Tell it to the man himself. Well, what would be the name of a charity that gives out wine bottles to poor people? What do you think the name of that would be? Wines Are Us? I don't know. The Catholic Church? Hell yeah. Bro, I'm gonna go to your church and just so that I could down that holy wine, bro. I wouldn't do that, but you know, I could. You're making me thirsty. This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it? You can, it's against the rules. But you can have the empty bottle, though. Let's go! I'll be like the Grinch and just eat the bottle. Where does the audience sit, though? For the nightly shakes... shakes... Wait, what? Wait. He said it right. His name is not Shakespeare, right? It's Shamespeare? William Shamespeare. But he said Shakespeare. Is he getting confused now? The nightly Shakespeare performances. Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. So, I don't know, man. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office. What? Then you could practice your art every single day. I'll think about it if you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge. Well, if that would help you achieve your goals. This I have to see. This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to the gas pipe on the wall. Gas lights, gas stove. London really is the city of gas. But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they? Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there. Well, I much prefer a real fire anyways. It's much more so much cozier. I much prefer lighting things on fire. As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. Not the only thing bricked up. A vestige of the former window tax the Britons had to pay. What strange things they used to tax in Britain. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property. It's extraordinary. It's also stupid. It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh. What is it, Mr. Sato? If you look closely, a number of bricks are loose. And it's soap? What? Wait, what? Oh, yes. It looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamspear who did it, I wonder? Being the lodger renting the room? Ah, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it. What? Outside? Was that hole always there? I don't think that hole was there. I think it just showed the hole.
Holy diver.
It's cold outside. You can feel it through the gap. It did snow all last night. It would be cold. More importantly, what is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps? It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I have no idea. But the pair of them look rather charming like that. Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window? I think perhaps we should take one. There are two, after all. Oh dear, I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at the soap. Ah! Do you see in the middle there? There's a patch that looks different, that's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain. It looks like the Hinamaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? How wonderful! It's probably a very expensive brand. I'm not too sure that's what that is. Expensive? Then what's it doing in this ramshackle old room? Hold on, before we do that, let's look at the soap. Let's look at the soap. The soap. This part is a different color. It's an exquisite design, isn't it? Trust the British to turn a boring bar of soap into something special. I quite like it. It reminds me of the Hinamaru design of the Japanese flag. I expect this is rather expensive soap. It doesn't seem likely, given who it belongs to. True. 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 Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Inspector Gregson! Back so soon? Well, after I threw that little Japanese fellow in the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, you better be leaving then. Poor Mr. Natsume. Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low, being back in the cell again so soon. I'm sure. We should probably go and... What the fuck? Are my eyes deceiving me, or did... What the fuck? Was he not dead? What the fuck? What? Oh my fuck! What? He was alive the entire time. I bet he was being marionated and whatever the fuck. What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Ah! Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player. That struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and this is heard no more. Now, how soundeth that next part? It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed, oh happy day! Playing dead is all fun and games until it's time for the autopsy. Yeah. Walking Dead! The fella isn't dead at all? What was that nonsense he was saying, though? I think... Yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. Okay, so... William Shakespeare does exist in this universe. Alright. I mean, bro, I really don't know what this franchise's, like, stance on natural history, but... Fuck. That was weird. Especially considering, you know, magic exists in this universe. Well, it's not really magic, it's psychics, I guess? I don't know. It's weird. A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5. Shakespeare. So it was. But the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that is, whatever that now was. Well, it looks like Suzuki is fucking. It looks like Natsune is can't be tried for murder because the guy isn't fucking dead. But what the fuck? Whatever do you think will happen now? Good question. What a strange situation from Mr. Natsume. Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life. I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison, as we deduced. But it was an accident. Attempted suicide or attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in question, or in custody. How the fuck did they not check the guy to see if he was dead? Was this during the time where they don't know that you could check someone's pulse? Wait, hold on. Let me look this up. I need to look this up. When was checking pulse invented? That's gonna be the one I'm gonna look up. Checking the pulse has been practiced since ancient times. Herophilus of Alexandria from 335 to 280 BC is credited with being the first to measure the heartbeat using a water clock to time the pulse. This shit was before Jesus Christ was born! How the fuck did these cops not check his pulse to begin with? Why? What the fuck? Oh my goodness! This whole thing could have been prevented if they just checked the man's pulse or some shit. Oh, dude, I'm getting a fucking headache now. Like, what? Oh, okay. Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody. I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh, what's this? Who the fuck is Mr. fucking Bean doing over here? What's that man doing over there? It looks like he's trying to see into into Suzuki-san's lodgings. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Excuse me, could we have a word? Ah! Ah! He just ran off. I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it? Oh yeah, wasn't he arguing with the not dead person? I do too, but I don't remember. With the exception of the top floor, where Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb live, all the windows are bricked up. Yes, that's because of the window... Yes, we already know this. I was looking at the fucking bar of soap. There always seems to be a bicycle outside the Garadeb's residence. I read that bicycles are extremely popular all over Great Britain at the moment, in fact. That one seems very warped, though, especially the front wheel. Is that to make it more of a challenge to ride, do you think? No, I'm afraid that may have been a result of the rider's incompetence. For the front wheel to be badly warped, I'm afraid the rider may have been similarly afflicted. And there's a good chance Mr. Natsume may have been practicing on this bicycle, I think. Fantastic! Let's get the fuck out of here, brother. I guess we can go here and check on them. Nope. He's still being questioned. Here we are again, the eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode. We're here because Mr. Garadeb's the one who discovered the incident this morning. Don't forget. Ah, chap! You chaps, eh? Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday. It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Garadeb as anyone, really. Came straight back here after all the business of the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more bally nonsense this morning. I wonder, if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Garadeb. Yes, I suppose you'd like to know about that. That dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room. Those were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they? Where's your wife? It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear you discovered what had happened. What happened?
Ah, well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but nobody answered.
And that was when you broke into his room by kicking down the door.
Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course.
Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept by half an hour. That's very true, Mr. Naruhodo. If 30 minutes oversleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door down every morning.
Bruh. Well, you know, better to be safe than sorry and all.
Is it just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden? Except that was a sorry situation. That it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door. The victim's name is Mr. Shamspear, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, William Shakespeare. Took the ground floor room 3 months ago now.
And how would you describe him?
In a word, destitute.
Destitute?
Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has a bally screw loose.
It's hard to choose which category Suzuki-san would fall into. Yes! Mr. Naruhodo, that's a little rude. Stop reading my mind.
He was doing research as well.
Research? Into what?
Shakespeare, of course, Shakespeare. Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that.
Yes! William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao in Japanese, as you know, and many of his works have already been translated. It seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Someone was too heavy-handed there. That's a hard name. Shakespeare. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there? Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine him and Shakespeare would have had much in common. Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. So let's hope it's not that. Mr. Naruhodo, really, how rude. Stop reading my mind. After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning?
Well now, must have been around 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily, as I remember, and it was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was out at the time.
Mr. Garradeb noticed there was no light from his room or something, I suppose.
Couldn't summon the energy for anything much. So I just sat in the front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shakespeare got back. And the chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. I suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark here.
Well, thank you. It was very illuminating. Is everything all right, Mrs. Otto? Well, I was just thinking it's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garadeb, you were up here in your room all evening, if I've understood correctly.
Not a big fan of stairs. Not with this blasted leg.
Then, how is it that you seem to know the precise movements of your tenant on the ground floor right now?
Yeah!
That's a very good point. I can't imagine that you would hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it?
I say, I know what you're thinking, and it's a bully outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants. Why would I?
Then how did you know, Mr. Garrett?
It's the gas, woman. The gas tells me everything.
The gas? What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you anything, let alone everything?
Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes.
Yes, I'd more or less worked that out. Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main. Yes, I understand that too. Fuck, why am I so tired, bro? Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. I feel like I'm about to honk Shua.
Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was able to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose would happen?
Well, obviously the room would get brighter.
Exactly. But at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment.
What? They dim? Why? Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual. And that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mustn't it?
Help! 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 I'm too tired.
I'm gonna stab my arm with this real quick. Will, what did you do to me? Did you drug me? You put me on the you drugged me with melatonin, didn't you? You fat fuck. I'm gonna press hard on your forehead. Be like, wah, wah, wah. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mustn't it? Yes, of course, because everything's connected to a single supply pipe. Is that supposed to happen though? It sounds rather undesirable.
Jolly good point. In fact, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless. Long worn out. And barely got any gas left in them to start with. Opposite's also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here and they grow brighter in the rest of the house.
Ah, right, I see. Ugh, carve your nose. So by watching the flickering of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere.
You've got it.
Oh, of course, because when people come back home in the evening and before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires. Clever.
In point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it is slightly different. Use slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house.
Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Garrett. Absolutely fascinating.
Well, nothing to it really.
And I can't can't really see that it's going to help us with the case either. I'd like to know is why Mr. Garrideb is so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. I don't know, probably he's bored. I mean, like, the man's a retired ex-military. Bro's got nothing better to do than read books and, I don't know, keep tabs with his tenants. I don't know, maybe if I was in his case, I would, like, spend time with him, talk to him, or whatever. Well, maybe not me personally, but, you know. Whatever. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak to Mr. Natsume again. A good idea. Cool. Now get the fuck out. Let me go put up my bowl. Because I'm finished with my bowl. I finished up my bowl. My cat is looking at me. I'm gonna finish him next. Alright, I'm back. And I brought some snacks and a pretty kitty. Yeah, you're pretty cute. Alrighty. Hey! No! Mine. I'm trying to eat my snacks that I brought. Fat bitch. Bro's standing in the corner again. Alright. There you go, kitty. Now he's all flopped. You flopped on my desk. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now? Locum suited Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Oh. Yes? Where is he? Tell me! Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me? Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes? He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost. But his diabolical deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Ah, cursed! I'm cursed, I tell you! Well, that sort of hurts. Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the abduction, too. Yes, moving along. Moving on, we have some wonderful news. Oh? the victim that we thought was dead has come back to life again. Now, in the absolute worst case, you could only have been tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume?
It's terrible!
Oh. I'm stuck in a cell, suffering for some silly wrong end of the stick! You did it, didn't you? Confess, you're a killer! Why the mustache? Come on, cool. Give him out. Constant questions! I'm sorry to hear that. God, that selfish shyster! Make up your mind, are you dead or alive? If you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? Wickedly wishy-washy, William! Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspear was never actually dead in the first place. Oh, yes, that might... Oh, yeah, that might make sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last. Oh. Oops. Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspear? You met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you? I'm not saying another word! I demand to have a lawyer present! Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume. We need to hear your side of the story. Why am I cursed like this? Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume? There's nothing to tell! But, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you helping me out. Helping me with that accursed case yesterday. The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back. Now that was just unfortunate. A big ol' whopping skill issue. It's hard to believe that it was only yesterday. It felt like 4 months now. After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings. And that evening, at past 9, I visited Mr. Shamspear. So, you did go to the victim's room then? As we feared. I didn't do anything wrong! I'd never been to his room before. It was the first time! And what made you decide to go? I bumped into him when I arrived at the house. We got chatting and it developed into discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell. It ties with what Mr. Garrett said, that the victim went out and came back after 8. We met again later that evening at around 9, just after, when I took him some nice tea I'd brewed as a gift. So it was you who brought the tea that had been clearly drunk at the scene then. And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you? Yes, that's right. That's exactly right.
Romeo and Juliet. Who is the stronger? It was a delightful debate. I am sure. Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare! And the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison in Mr. Shakespeare's tea? No! Never! Not at all! Team Juliet won! That was me! When I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit! I swear it, categorically! I'm just fucking with my cat. Should mess with him. He's attacking like a piece of plat, like the wrapper for my Jolly Rancher. Did I accidentally pin something? Son of a bitch. There we go. Alright, we're good. Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence. I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in the time I've learned that it's no place for me. It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture. There are foreigners everywhere I look. They all stare at me. They're all laughing. That's the impression I get when I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Honestly, understandable. British, cringe. Which is why I've become recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite from my fears. I've moved more times than I can remember. And then, 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road. But why? I mean, why'd you choose that place? It didn't seem very comfortable. Because the rent was cheap. I have so little money, it spoke to me. The rent? Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed. Cursed? Cursed how? The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died in there. Oh no! He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why. Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that. I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. A horrible history is a small price to pay. When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning. Brave or blinkered? But after I moved in,
I soon came to realize what I'd done. I realized that the room's history really was. Gosh, was it really so awful? How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened? At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me. Do you think it might have to do with your mind playing tricks on you again? No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place. Nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean? All the souls who died in that room leaned over me in my sleep and tried to strangle me! That really is horrible. Now that I come to think of it, it happened again last night, too. That very same night that Mr. Shamsphere was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room! You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible. Yes, you're right. I know it. And that's why I'm already searching for the next room with the history to call home. I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodations with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared you might call that you yourself may become history. Susato-san knows how to make a man listen. Of course, Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well. You mean Mr. Garrett? Yes, he knows if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again. Oh, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place. Perhaps that may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movements. You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his room. What do you mean he pays so much attention to gas lamps? Oh dear, no, it has nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsumi. Please, forget I said anything. Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well. What's important is that Mr. Shamsphere isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come around and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released. Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right.
Excuse me.
Inspector Gregson!
I couldn't help overhearing what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news.
Oh.
Which do you want first?
Always, every time, bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle.
Right. Well, in that case, the good news it is.
Huh?
Sorry, but it's just a lot easier explaining everything that way.
Then why the fuck didn't you just do that to begin with? Why'd you ask?
beat you. As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shakespeare, was just unconscious. He's come around again. He's come around now.
Yes, we saw it happen in all its terrifying glory.
He's still being treated by the doctors, but we've managed to get a written statement from him already.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume? Oh, thank goodness. It's all over then. I can leave this somber cell.
Sorry, no. That's not on the cards.
What? Why ever not, Inspector?
Mr. Shakespeare has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night.
Implicated someone? Oh dear.
Implicated someone?
Oh dear. You don't mean...
I'm sorry to say I do, yes. He's pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. By sweet poison did he seeketh to end my life. That wickedest caitiff, Soseki Natsume.
No!
So, I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations.
No! And so, once again, Suzuki-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. For the following day, I would represent him in court and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. I do gotta say, this Jolly Rancher is in fact helping me. But, so I'm just gonna let you guys know now. I'm gonna call it early. I'm not doing it right now. I'm thinking I'll do like another 30 minutes. So at like the 3-hour mark, I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Just to let you guys know ahead of time. Because I'm tired. But I will be streaming tomorrow because tomorrow is a very special day. And not just because I missed, what was it, Tuesday. But, tomorrow's a very special day, and I will, I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you. I'll let you know. I'll let you know what it is later at the time. So, just be aware. Alright. Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange. I seem to get chills down my spine and break out in nervous sweat all the time, all at the same time. Well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon. That's my line! Good morning! Ah! Good morning, Mr. Natsume. It was only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here. Yes, we somehow managed to prove that he didn't stab Miss Green in the back. But now this! Another morning, another murder! And here I am again in this hellhole! Can't keep coming to court! I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid I have bad news. Oh! Mr. Natsume, good morning. Yes, morning. So, here we are again. Yes, again. Judicial Assistant Miss Migotoma Esquires! What's the bad news? Oh dear, you heard, did you? You come in shouting at the top of your voice. People can't help hearing what you say! Oh, I am sorry. You've done nothing wrong, Mrs. Sato. Now, what is it? Well, it seems that the prosecution in today's trial will be led by Lord Barak van Zykes. Amazing. Van Zykes? Ah! Oh no, oh no, no, no! The so-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land. In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Soseki-san and I relentlessly. Of course, by the skin of our teeth. We managed to pull through, but still. Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter. After all, yes, I know what you're thinking. A legend of the Reaper that says, nothing can save a person in the dock. But Lord Van Zykes is the prosecutor. Oh no. That even if that person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end one way or another. And we've experienced it firsthand. A man we successfully defended met the most terrifying end after his acquittal, right here in the Old Bailey. Ah! Do I have to put up with those ice-cold eyes boring into my soul again? Cursed by evil spirits, and now by the Reaper! Pair of petrifying perils, potentially! Well, if it's potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsume. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Ah, yes? I'm innocent! You have to believe me! You, more than anyone, know. Now. Not know. Will anyone know? Don't worry. I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle, I promise. And this promises to be a hard battle, I fear. Well, the trial is scheduled to begin shortly. We should move into the courtroom. Let's go. Oh yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it, Mr. Shomzaki. That's probably for the best. Oh! If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. And that would be seen as a weakness. If Lord Van Zykes were to notice, he'd prey on it mercilessly. At least, that's my gut feeling. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're so right. Oh, well said, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Well said. I swear on this sword at my side and on the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lawyer can do. I'll set you free, with honor. Oh, yes. February, 9:40 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense
to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. Readiness for the trial, my learned Nipponese friend, is not what the defense needs. But what you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat. Does he have a sword? You notice that? Does he have a sword in his sheath? His booty sheath? It's not just my imagination. It's really there. Lord Van Zykes has such an animosity towards us Japanese for some reason. It was some time ago that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. These past 3 years, he hasn't appeared in court at all. Yet now he's back in the courtroom. Well, for some reason, only when I'm defending. This Reaper, with his curious disdain for us Japanese, is a prosecutor shrouded in mystery. Still, this isn't the time to be pondering that. I have to concentrate on Suzuki-san's trial.
Furthermore, I now call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You have been chosen at random,
Bullshit.
to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty?
Alright, guys. I didn't see who the jury was before, so let's see if we'll recognize any of them. Yeah, there it is. Already, immediately. Are you fucking kidding me? He's literally the same juror in the case prior to this one. Random my ass.
Absolutely. I had a feeling this Larkin wasn't innocent before.
It's the same woman.
I must say that I feel equally ruthless on days when hats refuse to sit tight.
Oh my gosh, this is literally the same people! What the fuck? Could they not just create new characters? They had to reuse old models, you lazy fucks!
Oh, well, I rather like how you're wearing your hat. I think it's ruthless. I think the ruthless look is very fetching, actually.
She's new.
I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick.
He's not new.
I couldn't agree more. I need to take home 5 bob tonight, or the missus will go through the roof.
Oh, may the Lord show us the light here and lead his flock to the righteous verdict.
This shit's not random. Literally every single one of them has been in a trial I've been in, except for one. The British jury system is so very different to our own, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of judgment is in the hands of 6 members of the public, and that the judge can only pass sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defendant's guilt. Yeah, and you can see one of them already thinks he's guilty because they've been in the same trial! 6 citizens of London, chosen at random, or at least that's the idea. Small town? What the fuck do you mean small town? It's London. It's a fucking city. Shit's not small. Place has like over 1 million people in there. And yet, by some coincidence, the same random juries keep getting picked over and over again. The prosecution would draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for duty today. Oh, so that was on purpose. A, don't say it's random when you literally picked them on purpose. And B, why would you bring them back here? Wouldn't they have a bias already? What is the point in fucking having this random selection when you just have, like, a small group that you just choose? Just doesn't make any sense. Very well, let us commence the trial. Lord Van Zykes, your opening statement, please. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past decision. However, the innocent verdict afforded to this eccentric nipple niece before has dire consequences. Yeah. So, motherfucker says, it's not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past objections, but because you gave him the innocent verdict, another person died. You're being a douchebag. You're being your douchebag, and you're trying to fucking. What's the term for when you blackmail someone over morals? I think it's just called morally blackmail. You morally blackmail the fucking jury because they gave the guy an innocent verdict, which, by the way, he was innocent. We were able to prove that he was innocent, but whatever. Did the accused repent for his wrongdoings in that affair? Far from it. What? What wrongdoing? He was innocent. We proved him innocent for that. You know this. You're just playing fucking bullshit. Instead, he used his freedom to perpetrate the most blood-curdling crime, namely that of the attempted murder of his neighboring lodger, an innocent Englishman. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witnesses to the stand. The detective responsible for investigating the scene and the accused himself. Sir, what? Witnesses, your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. Ah! Soseki Natsume from the Empire of Japan. My government ordered me here as a student to study your language and culture. Mr. Natsume. Yes, my lord, sir? I'm quite sure I'm not mistaken that you swore an oath never to set foot in my courtroom again. I remember it as if it were yesterday. The day before, in fact, my lord. But close enough. Believe me, it's the last place I want to be. Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case for the court. Right you are, sir. The incident occurred in the Garadeb household, where the defendant has lodgings. In the ground floor of the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare, the defendant has already admitted to visiting the victim on the night in question. Mr. Shamspeare collapsed in his room as a result of poisoning by strychnia. What? Strychnia? How do you say that?
Strychnine.
Strychnine. What is strychnine? It's a highly toxic, odorless, bitter crystalline powder. It is an alkaloid derived from the seeds of trees like the Strychnos nux vomica. Okay, so it's a powder used as pesticides, specifically for killing small vertebrates like birds and rodents. Interesting. Alright. He was found the following morning when the landlord suspected something was wrong. Broke down the door. This means I presume the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident. Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making the entry to or exit from the room impossible. Although the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, lives to tell the tale, he very nearly didn't. The man was halfway to heaven when we first found him. I was the first officer on the scene, my lord. And I have photographic print here that I took at the time to show how it looked. Yes, a chilling scene indeed. The man looks very much deceased. Hell dead. That's right. Everyone present believed that's exactly how he was. Very well. I shall accept this photographic print as evidence for the court. Now then, Mr. Natsume. Yes! As the defendant, do you have anything to say at this juncture? They're haunted. Haunted by evil spirits. Good gracious! What's haunted? My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside. My neighbor was poisoned, and me? What about me? I've nearly been killed countless times. Killed, Mr. Natsume? How? Even on that fateful night it happened, when I returned from Mr. Shamspeare's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me! You must always extinguish all fires before retiring for the night, Mr. Natsume. But it's so cold! My runny nose would freeze. The point is, I didn't poison my neighbor. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed? Thank you, witness. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of events. If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point. Conclusive? Go on. Fortunately, the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, has regained consciousness after his ordeal. And he is named the true culprit. The poison consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. Tea, my lord, that was brought to the victim's room by the accused. The accused? Good grief! Order! Order! Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. If Suzuki-san is innocent, then why? Why has the victim accused him? Well, Mr. Natsume, what have you to say to this accusation? That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I brought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result! Never will I touch tea again! Never! The public pump was frozen, you say? That's not information we've heard before. That will do, thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense must have the opportunity to cross-examine the witness at least once. Therefore, I call upon these witnesses now for a formal testimony. I presume the prosecution has no objection? None whatsoever, my lord. Good.
Then you will give your account of the events on the night in question to the court.
Yes, my lord! It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor. I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. Ugh, my tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he? Strychnine? How do you even say that again? I don't know.
Strychnine.
Strychnine. Strychnine takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it. The victim would have perfectly been able to lock the door after his guests left. The argument still stands.
Yes, I see. It all seems relatively straightforward.
Excuse me, but that testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Mr. Natsume claims his tea to have been harmless. Presumably, though, the teacups have been examined for traces of poison, haven't they? Why didn't I think of that?
Well, as it happens, no. We haven't been able to. Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspect's substance.
How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't the first thing you should have done?
I learned that Nipponi's friend is falsely incensed. The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea, not that it was overlooked.
Unable? Why? It's simple enough. There was none left, not a drop. But the... What? You could... It's... What? Are you stupid? Just because there's not a drop left doesn't mean you can't detect traces left of the poison in there. The teacups has a stain on it. Look at the fucking stain! What? Unless fucking strychnine doesn't have like the only way you can trace it is by fucking whatever, like, I don't know, man. I really just don't see how you could fucking not pick it up just because it's not there. Literally the first case, we found traces of the poison using the little powder thing. Spray over the pen. So how could you not do the same thing with the tea? Good grief. Someone must have been very thirsty indeed. With current scientific techniques, it's not possible to test for poison under such circumstances. Okay, so basically you're dumb as shit. We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough. The lack of examination now notwithstanding, it appears nothing more than the tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question. I see, thank you. The matter is clear. Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend. What? You can see it in their faces, I'm sure. The recognition of the accused's guilt. Your client's fate is all but sealed. In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity. He's right. I can feel all 6 juries looking daggers at me. All because I did my job. I can't let them beat me down. I won't. Counsel for the defense, proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Alright. That's gonna be it for the night. We're just gonna leave it off here. Thank you guys so much for coming by. I appreciate it. Tomorrow I will be streaming something. I don't know what I'll be streaming. It's not this game. It'll probably be something else. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for coming by. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.